Friends and students, welcome to my YouTube channel Schooling and Preaching by Ashish Sadhu. এখন আমি গীতার তৃতীয় পর্ব আলোচনা করব। এপিসোড আমার তৃতীয় পর্ব, আমি যেটুকু করে নিচ্ছি সেই তৃতীয় পর্ব। আমি গীতা ইংরেজি ভাষায় শ্রীমদ্ ভাগবত গীতা আলোচনা করছি। এর একমাত্র উদ্দেশ্য আমাদের এই মহান শাস্ত্রকে কীভাবে অন্য একটা ভাষায় শুনলে কেমন শোনায়, কেমন লাগে, এটাই আমার উদ্দেশ্য। এবং আমার ছাত্রছাত্রীরা ইংরাজি স্পিকিং শুনে যদি তাদের কিছু প্রফিট হয় তো হোক। প্রথমেই বলছি, দয়া করে আমাকে আপনারা লাইক, কমেন্ট এবং সাবস্ক্রাইব করবেন। নাও আই এম এন্টারিং দ্য এপিসোড। At the outset of this episode, I am here ought to mention that Sanjay has been blessed to visit the warfare, to visit the battlefield of Kurukshetra from a distance, and so he could disclose the events after events of the battle in front of Dhritarashtra, the blind king of Hastinapur and the father of 100 boys. Now here it is to be mentioned that Duryodhana is a very clever, cunning and diplomatic person. He even cannot respect his Gurudev Dronacharya. He suspects and doubts about the activities of Sri Dronacharya, the Gurudev of both the Pandavas and the Kauravas. He alerts Dronacharya that he should not be weak or inactive at the time of war in front of Dhristadyumna, as Dhristadyumna was his disciple, beloved and affectionate disciple in his ashram. Who is this Dhristadyumna? Dhristadyumna is the son of Drupad, the king of Panchal and the father of Draupadi. Here there is a history about a political conflict between Drupad and Dronacharya. We have to know here that Drupad and Dronacharya studied, that is, took lessons of artillery systems or warfare or battling in the ashram of the same Guru. They were two co-students of the Guru, and they were being taught in the same ashram by the same Gurudev. They were then going through their boyhood or childhood. They were very simple and very moderate boys. They discussed about their family matters, their family conditions. Drupad told that he was a prince, but Dronacharya was very poor. One day, during their discussions about various matters, Drupad told Dronacharya that as Dronacharya was very poor, he would offer a part of his kingdom when he would be the king, being inherited by his father. He would offer a part of his kingdom to Dronacharya. After some time, they finished their course in the ashram and they returned their respective home. Drupad was a prince, very rich, very affluent. He had no want of anything, but Dronacharya was very poor. Dronacharya was so poor that he could not afford full meal, even milk, to his son Ashwathama. He was suffering a lot from poverty. In this way, he was struggling with the poverty of his family. One day, he recalled about the promise of his friend Drupad. He thought that in this time, Drupad might be the king of Panchal. So he went to meet Drupad in his kingdom. There Drupad became the king, and he met Drupad, and he reminded Drupad about the promise of childhood that he would give him a part of his kingdom. But unfortunately, Drupad rejected, refused the demand, and he also laughed at that Dronacharya has come to demand the promise of his childhood. It's a matter of ignorance, because childhood promise is of no value. He returned, being insulted, he returned home, but he cherished a very revengeful mind against Drupad. This is in this course. Now I have to return to the main point. It was the story, and I have now come to the main point that Duryodhana is very anxious about how would Dronacharya perform his battle in the battlefield of Kurukshetra. So he wants Dronacharya that he should not be affectionate to Dhristadyumna. Dhristadyumna's father was very anti power of Dronacharya. But yet one day Drupad sent his son Dhristadyumna to Dronacharya as his disciple to his ashram. Here we observe that Dronacharya accepted him as a normal student, and he began to teach him normally as usual as other students. He had made no discrimination, and he did not remember about the enmity of him with his father Drupad. He behaved good with this new student Dhristadyumna, and this reminded Duryodhana to Dronacharya that though it was a fault of him, that is right, that is here there is nothing to say, but he must not be prejudiced at all to Dhristadyumna. That is, he must fight wholeheartedly with Dhristadyumna. Because Dhristadyumna, Dronacharya might have a prejudice, might have a side hand. It was thought by Duryodhana, because Duryodhana was very much afraid, very much anxious and tensed about the victory of the war. He also, here we perceive that Duryodhana also want Dronacharya that he should not be affectionate or beloved to Arjuna, as Arjuna was his beloved and affectionate and best student in the ashram. And here in this battle, Arjuna and Dronacharya are standing in the opposite field. So Duryodhana here want Dronacharya not to be affectionate and not to be weak-minded at the time of battlefield, in the battlefield. I already said that Duryodhana is a very critical-minded. He cannot even believe his Gurudev, Dronacharya, and he always suspects that Dronacharya might be prejudiced, might be affectionate to Arjuna and Dhristadyumna at the war field. So he was very much suspected, dubious, and very excited and very discontented about the performance of Dronacharya in the war field. Here it is the end. I will start the next episode. In the next day, again I request you to give me a like, comment and subscribe me. Thanks.